Hello students, this is the SAM end of module project 1 for access module 1, databases and database objects and intro. So I've already downloaded these two items. Of course, we just hit download all. I have the instructions on a different monitor just to keep the process and flow going for this tutorial. You may want to do the same. You may want to print the instructions, or if you only have one monitor, you could do it side by side or switch back and forth. So many ways that you can set that up. We also have one database file. Now, before we go any further, I have to stress, you must be working on a Windows computer. There is not a Microsoft Access application for Mac. If you are in my course, that means you need to find someone with a Windows computer that you can do this on, or you will need to go to campus, and in Founders Hall there are computers that will have access on it that you can complete this assignment. All right, that said, let's get Access open. Now, the other thing is, Windows 11 is automatically turning off macros. So you may open up Access and see it says block content. Well, we can just sort of nip this in the bud since we already know this could be a problem. And go to wherever you have the Access file. So I'm just going to go to Downloads. And you're going to right click on it and go to Properties. And in the General tab, okay, down here, it's going to say Unblock. That's what it says. Sorry, I forgot. Senior moment. And then make sure you click Apply. I have already done it on this one, so that's why it's not showing. Okay? But you will, so if you get to your General tab and it has an unblock checkbox right here, go ahead and check the box, hit apply, hit OK. Then you should be able to open up your Access file with no problems. All right, so we're going to open up Access. All right. Now you see that we have Access open. This may look very different to you if you've never worked in Access before, which I'm assuming most of you students have not. The first thing I do is it opens with this awfully narrow. And this is a little bit similar to Excel in the sense that you can just put your mouse right here, and once you have that arrow, hold your mouse down and just pull it over a little bit so you can see the complete name of the tables. I also want to give you a little bit of navigation right here. A lot of what we're going to be doing is coming over here and opening things. So we have tables, we have forms, and in a little while, we are going to make a query. All right? So you'll see what tables look, if you've done tables in Excel or tables in Microsoft Word, these are going to look very much like it. They function a little bit differently, but they look very much like it. But we'll take the content from those tables and we'll make a form and a query. And a query pulls specific information from your tables. So say you have a massive table. So Access is usually used in the professional world when you have large amounts of data that you need to manipulate. Another database application that is frequently used in the professional world is called SQL. It's SQL. And so that's another one that's often used. So queries can pull, so say you want, for instance, we're doing swim fees. I think one of the queries we pull is we're pulling students from a specific geographical area. So it's going to take just those students out and show it to you in a query. Reports is what you're going to do if you want to print something, either in a digital or physical paper format. is you create a report from your table or your query. So this particular project is simply going to give you a taste of all of those. And when I say a taste, it's like a taste. This is an appetizer, okay? This is not a main course. If you are going to be doing module 2 or module 3 in whatever course other course that you might be in, you might see more of this. And it is sort of fun to play with when you understand what all the parts are doing. But this is just give you a taste of Access database. All right, so let's get going with this. All right, remember the first thing you want to do is change the file name by changing that 1 at the end to a 2 so you can submit it for grading. So Files, Save As, go to where you want to save it. And you change the 0 to a 2. And you're going to be all set. All right, so that gets you through the first part, getting started. So let's move into the project steps. All right, project step 1. Competitive Swim Clubs Incorporated is a national chain of swim clubs targeted to youth and adults who are or who want to be competitive swimmers. You are the regional manager for clubs located in the southeastern United States. You are developing an Access database application to help manage and analyze member and club data. Open the club's table in Datasheet View and use Street to rename the current address field. Close the club's table. All right, let's take that step apart. It's very easy. First, it says open the club's table in Datasheet. Let's try that again. Datasheet View. Now, that's easy because it defaults to Datasheet View. So we're going to go over here to the clubs table, double click on it, and you'll see if you click on View, you've got the border around Datasheet View. So it defaults to this view. It looks just like a table. All right, we're going to rename the address field. So we're going to go up here to address, right click, go down to rename field, and it says street. Now, this is super, super, super important. Do not miss this. When they have you change a field name, number 1, no spaces. So in the next step, we're going to come across where it has you put coach first name in. There are no spaces in coach first name. You make it one word. However, to delineate between the different words, the C in coach is capitalized, the F in first is capitalized, and the N in name is capitalized. So that's how you are able to read multiple words in those field names without spaces in it. Also, if you miss a capitalization, this is just in reference to the grading when you submit it to Cengage. It will mark it wrong and say it's not there if you misspell or do not capitalize something that they've told you to capitalize. So part of it, the no spaces, is an access thing, okay? The capitalization is in the grading, you're going to get it wrong if you don't capitalize or you misspell something. So be very careful when you're renaming these fields. Okay, so we've changed it to street. Now, I always just tab to get out of that area just to make sure it's taken the new name, all right? And then it says close it. Now, we could leave it open and have multiple tabs here, but the instructions do say to close it, so we're going to close it. It will automatically save. There's nothing that we need to do saving-wise. That is project step 1. Project step 2. All right, let's read through it and then we'll break it down. Create a new table in Datasheet View. Change the ID field to Coach ID with the auto number data type. We'll do one part at a time. So create a new table in Datasheet View. So we are going to go to the Create tab. Sort of common sense there. and it's a table. They did not say to go into table design. We want in data sheet view. So we're going to click table. Now, you may remember reading in the chapter about primary keys. So this is always there. It's an ID field. They want us to change the ID field name to Coach ID. So we're just going to right click, do what we did before. And here's that Coach with a capital C, ID, no spaces. Now, we also need to make sure that it has the auto number data type. Okay, so let's tab, and just so that takes, and click here, and data type is auto number, so it's already there. All right. It usually defaults that way for the primary key field, which is what we're working with right now. Now, we're not going to deal a lot with primary keys today. Just be aware that they exist in Access, okay? It's a way of identifying data in Access, okay? Now, we're going to add a field named Coach First Name with short text data. So, it says click to add. So we're going to click to add, and it wants you to pick the format first. So we want short text. Now it gives us the opportunity to type in Coach, there's the typo, first name. Get that capital in there. Okay, again, we're going to just tab to get out of that. We're going to also add a field named Coach Last Name, same thing, short text data, Coach Last Name. Watch those capitalizations. And then we want to click to add a club ID with number data type. Okay. Save the table with the name Coaches. So now we're going to click on here, right click, save, and call it Coaches. And we're going to close it. That is project step 2. Project step 3, open the swim fees table, data sheet view, add the new record shown in table 1, and then we're going to close it. It will auto save. We do not need to tell it to save. So we're putting in a new level, 7, and just tab through recreational, 165. The dollar option is already there, so we don't have to put a $sign in. And there we go, and we're going to close it. Project step 4, open the clubs table. And delete the record for club ID C05. So we're going to go here, and here in the records section, we're just going to click delete. It's going to say, you're about to delete this, you can't undo it, and you click yes. Then we're going to modify the club name for the value for the record with club ID C02. So we've got to change this name, and it's going to be Upstate Swim Group instead of Hillview. So we're just going to get rid of Hillview and put in Upstate. Okay? And then we're going to close the table. Remember, it auto saves. All right, we are now up to project step 5. Create a new query. Remember I said we were going to do a query. So we're going to go to create. Here are your queries. And it says use the simple query wizard, which is this right here. Oh, we need to be clicked on the members table. This is important because in the wizard, it's asking you what fields you want to pull over. Well, we were clicked on clubs, and it would have given us the options of fields from the club table. We need the options from the members table. So query wizard, simple query wizard. All right, so here's our field options, and they want us to pull member ID, first name, last name, state, and club ID. All right, then we're going to go next And we are going to title it with SC capitalized, members with members capitalized, no spaces. Then we want this checked. Open the query to view information and click finish. And you'll see it right here. The information you see should match what the sample is in your instructions. And then we're going to close that. All right, we are now on to project step 6. In the navigation pane over here, rename the members form right here. Rename to member entry. And then just tab out of it. That's all we had to do for project step 6. Project step 7, create a new form based on the swimmers table. So we're going to just click it once. Don't double click to open it. Just click it once so that's selected. And then we need to create form, okay? And it says the form tool, not the form wizard. So we're going to go here to the form tool. Now, it automatically creates a form. You do have options to change this, but we're just creating a basic form here. All right, so title the form Swimmers Info. So we're going to go up here, right click, save. And it's swimmer, not swimmers. So we need to make sure we take that S off, capital I. And confirm that it matches figure 2, which you can look in your instructions. You can see that ours matches figure 2. And we've already saved it by changing the name, and then we're going to close it. That was project step 7. We are now on to project step 8. We are almost done. We're going to create a new report using the report wizard. And we need the swimmers table still, so that's already selected. So create. And down here to reports, here's the report tool, here's the report wizard. We want the report wizard. All right, and it says choose swimmer ID, first name, last name, and level ID. So we need to put down there. Now, the double arrows is if you want to move the whole batch over or the whole batch back. All right, just to show you something to make, like if you didn't want to click 4 times. So if I move everything back, I can actually move everything over and say, okay, the only one I don't want is member ID, and just move it back. And there, I've done in 2 clicks what took me 4 before. Just a little tips and tricks there. We're going to click next. We are not grouping any levels, so we're just skipping this all together. We're going to go to next. They do want us to sort the records in ascending order by level ID. Then we're going to click next. It defaults to tabular and portrait, which it also wants. We're going to click next, and it's swimmer, singular, not plural, by level is the name. We do want to preview the report, so we're going to click finish. It should look like this, and the sample is in your instructions. And we are going to, so this would be, see how this is nicely laid out? This is something you could print either digitally or a physical paper copy. And you would just click to go to page 2. All right, just showing you what we can do with the report. Again, this is an appetizer of all these features. There's so much more you could do with it. All right, now, this is something different that is not done with any other Office application. We are going to do something called compact and repair your database. When we have such a small database such as this, you usually don't have to worry about compact and repair. However, when you have large amounts of data, you need to compact and repair it, especially when you've been adding all these tables, queries, forms, reports, etc. So just so you know how to do it, they ask you to do it. If you don't do it, you will get it wrong because it can tell if you've done it or not. So we're going to go to File, You go to Info. You click Compact and Repair, and it literally takes a second. See, it's done already. Then we're going to go back to File. We're going to close this file, and then we are going to quit Access. Now, we are going to go ahead and submit. So we need to, all right, so we're going to select the Access file. We're going to submit it. Now, I'm going to show you how to see your grade because it's just a little bit different in Access. So we're going to click the graded summary report, which is actually a Access file, and it did download. Okay, so I'm going to open it up. You may have to enable macros on it again. All right, so when you open up the grading report, it's actually right down here at the bottom under reports. So double click it, and you scan through it just like other reports you've received for other applications, and it can tell you if there were any errors in what you did. All right, but what's sort of nice is because this report is actually in the file you submitted, it's like if you did something wrong, you can go right to the table, query form, whatever, and see what it was and fix it if you'd like to resubmit. All right, that is it for Access. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I hope you've enjoyed this little introduction to Access and maybe it has piqued your interest to explore it further. Have a great day, great weekend, great week, and I hope the weather is beautiful where you are.